Hi there, I'm Heather with Heather Lang Homes, and we're talking about, this is a series we're talking about for the escrow process so that buyers can understand what to expect as they get into contract and move through towards close. So today we're going to focus on this time frame in here, which is really our contingency period, and this is when inspections take place as well. Typically, a contract is the boilerplate contract for California states that you get 21 days for contingencies. You can definitely shorten that time frame, and if you want to be competitive for your offer to the sellers, it would behoove you to have a realtor who can do those inspections much faster. I can usually get those done with between 5 and 10 days, depending on what the issues are. And there are times when sellers will do those inspections for you. Nevertheless, during this contingency period, this would be the time when you call, have an inspector out there. I am always with my clients during the inspections, and I always encourage my clients to be there as well so that I can help pepper the inspector with questions on your behalf, and of course you as the client, you're going to have questions. So it's always good to be there to get the verbal rundown after you hear all of the information. You usually want to do a property inspection, a chimney inspection if they have a chimney and fireplace, and a termite inspection, and also a pool inspection, spa if they've got that. If you're in a condo or a townhome, you're also going to use this time frame to evaluate the HOA documents for the community. So once you've done that, and if you're satisfied with the property, then it's safe for you to go ahead and remove that contingency. There is also a few other things that's happening at the same time of doing your property contingency, and that's your finance contingency. That's where when you go into that offer having your pre-approval from the lender has looked at you, the buyer, and said, yes, you are risk worthy, we're willing to lend money to you, but you need to be having a contract in a house so that the lender can also evaluate the house. The way they do that is with an appraisal. So you want to have an appraisal contingency in place so that the bank can take a look at that and decide, okay, do we feel comfortable putting our money into this house, having a review of the house with that appraisal and making sure that it appraises for the price that you offered. Once that appraisal is in place and done, then that gets put together with the file. Your file goes to the underwriter, and that's when you get your full approval in place for your financing. So you don't want to remove those contingencies until you have your full approval in place. There are certainly ways to negotiate to make your offer more competitive. And here in Silicon Valley, we've had a few years past where people would remove some of those contingencies in order to win the house. We are now getting back into a time with the market chilling out, correcting itself, and these contingencies are starting to come back in, which is really good news. It takes away liability issues when you can keep those contingencies in place and evaluate the house. There's lots more to talk about, but reach out to me and I can share a little bit more strategy with you. My name is Heather with Heather Lang Homes, and happy to sit down with you, educate you a little bit more about this part of the process. And next time we'll talk a little bit about what do you do once those contingencies are finished and you're ready to move forward.